Bienvenue, benvenuti, and welcome to Expatriotical, the podcast for expats, travelers, and other adventurous souls. I'm Chandra Ali, and after living as an expat with my husband and 4 children in 2 different countries for 7 years, I've learned the arts of pivoting during pitfalls, traveling tastefully for less, and soaking in amazing new cultures without losing your own. Join me as we dive into the joys and challenges of travel and the expat life in every episode. Hey everybody, I hope this episode meets you on a beautiful last day of November. This episode, you will notice, is listed as a bonus episode as it is not landing on a Wednesday. There are lots of reasons for that, but one reason is because of the possible bit of OCD that I might have. I really wanted to get an episode in for the month of November, and today is the last day. But I also think it's really important that I give you an update on why I did not post an episode earlier in the month. The month of November has been an absolutely crazy whirlwind. I started the month off with my birthday, and we were coming back from a wonderful last European trip as a family to Norway and Sweden. I had really wanted to do an entire travel episode to tell you all about it, but that week was just too full of regular life stuff. And then on Thursday, the 6th, just a few days later, I flew with my daughter Lilia to see friends in Amsterdam and also see the Anne Frank house. If you ever get the opportunity to see the Anne Frank house, please do so. It is so impactful and truly incredible to see where she lived the final 2 years of her young life. Our time with friends was absolutely incredible, and I feel so grateful and blessed to have gotten to see a few different friends on that trip. Special shout out to Kristen and Phil for sharing your home with us and including us in your daily life so we could get a little taste of what life is like living in Amsterdam. And another shout out to my dear friend Ezra, who spoiled us rotten and who I am so thankful we got to see one more time before moving to Singapore. Lilia and I returned to Paris late on Sunday night, and Monday morning I awoke to a very disturbing email stating that one of our children was not accepted into the school that we had applied for. I'm not going to get into the details of that, but suffice it to say we were shocked and devastated, or at least I was devastated. The week continued on Tuesday by waking up to yet another email and finding out that one of our sources of income, no, thankfully not Chris's job, was suddenly going to not be coming in. And then on Thursday, my mom informed me that my grandma, who had not been doing great but was at home and no longer in the hospital, had taken a turn for the worse. This week left me scrambling, and instead of doing an episode, I started applying to another school. For those that are listening who are not expats or have never applied to an international school, it's more intense than applying for a job or possibly even a university. You need physical examinations. You have to put different documentation along with report cards and diagnoses and just anything like that and get recommendations. It's a lot of work. The following Monday was my youngest son, Caleb's 7th birthday. The next day was filled with meetings and doctor's appointments. And then Wednesday morning, I woke up and received a text message shortly thereafter that my Grammy had gone to be with the Lord. That began a scramble for getting airline tickets and a rental car, and I flew to Colorado Friday morning. Though the circumstances were heartbreaking, it was really good to see my mom and my brother and sister-in-law and my niece and nephews and my uncle and aunt and many other friends and family. The memorial was on Monday, and the following morning I woke up around 4:22 and started working on the remaining 3 children's school applications, as we were told that the child whom we had applied for had a conditional acceptance. I want to say that this child does not have bad grades nor a bad school history, but the child is neurodivergent, and it has been like trying to get this child into Harvard or released on parole versus getting into an international school. Anyway, I flew back to Paris that day, and commenced in unpacking and repacking for one last Disneyland Paris hurrah for the kids, which we had already purchased and planned months prior. This move has taught me more lessons yet again, because until the 10th of November, everything had been smooth sailing. And now we're stepping into a move in about 10 days. Literally, the movers come on the 11th of December to pack up our apartment. and we're stepping in with a bit of uncertainty. And so that's actually why I'm doing this podcast episode as I sit in my pajamas on Sunday morning, because I realized that I have run out of margin. My initial plan was to keep doing one episode a month because that felt manageable as we moved. But now I'm realizing that there are just so many unknowns that are impossible to predict that I don't think I have the margin to do the podcast right now. And so I'm going to have to take yet another break. I told my family that this morning at breakfast, and my oldest son, Carson, said, "But didn't you already take a break?" And he's right. I did over the summer, and I came back refreshed and ready to pick back up, just not on a weekly basis, but monthly. But I think that life, or maybe God, had different plans for me. So because I truly am not ready to say this is the final episode, this is an indefinite break. I hope that I will see you back here again once we're settled in Singapore. But if I don't meet you back here, thank you so much for listening. It has been my joy and privilege to share my experiences as an expat with you. And if I could give you one last word of wisdom, it would be to give yourself grace. This expat life is beautiful and full of adventure, but it's not easy. And it's even more challenging when you're faced with people who have all the best intentions, but look at you like you're insane for moving around every few years. Hang in there. Build in margin. I can thank Kendra Adachi of The Lazy Genius, along with other people, for teaching me that concept. And give yourself grace, even if that grace is letting go of something that you love for a little while. Speaking of things I love, I will be posting a reel on the Expatriotical Instagram page of my amazing trips to Sweden, Norway, and Amsterdam, which I loved, to go along with this episode. Okay, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much, as always, for listening. This is Chandra Alley wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and reminding you to live and travel in the know with Expatriotical.